resisted looking at it since I collected it, and we're gonna take a look at it. Are we ready, guys?
It took me a long time to edit this, but I'm finally done. I attended my very first hand-building pottery class. It is my second attempt at pottery, the first being behind a pottery wheel. So, how would hand building differ from that? Let's find out today. Now that we're all geared up, it's time to get making. To start off, we were given this block of clay, which obviously I had no idea what to do with it. So although we were given free rein to make whatever we wanted, we went with what we were taught, which is to make a bowl. First, we were instructed to roll this block of clay into a ball, which honestly took a lot longer than I had thought it would. But thankfully, I've been making a lot of glutinous rice balls in the recent months, so I guess my skills came in handy here. Can you imagine eating a glutinous rice ball this big? Now it's time to shape our bowl. We started off by creating a hole, pressing inwards towards the center of the clay, before then pressing outwards towards the side to widen the hole. The more I worked with my clay, the more I realized cracks were forming all around. Was I doing this right? Is my bowl gonna break off? Upon being assured that this was completely normal, I continued kneading till I arrived at my ideal shape. Now to help us salvage the cracks, all we need is water. It probably doesn't seem like much, but I really enjoyed this particular process. Perhaps it's about mending the cracks that made me feel a sense of comfort within. For a long time, I had always wished for someone to save me. Yet I never for once thought, perhaps I could be the one saving myself. It was not until patterns within my life just kept repeating again and again till I got so sick and tired of it, I wanted to eradicate and rewrite my story. Who knew that one thought would get me delving into the world of energy healing, self-development, therapy, and spirituality for the next 8 years of my life, and counting. Now it's time to work on the sides. It felt so fragile, I was waiting for the moment I would ruin it. Good news, it all went by smoothly and it was time for the next step. Now for the fun part, it's time to decorate our bowl. We were given a bunch of cookie cutters and I felt simply spoiled for choice, but I had an idea in mind. I have 2 dogs of my own and was hoping to incorporate both of them into my first hand-building pottery piece. Is it possible? Can we do it? Well, we'll soon find out. But first, just some finishing touches left. Now it's time to figure out this next process. I wanted to make figurines of my dogs, so I was given another block of clay to work with. With that, I started off making my body. I attempted to envision how it would look like on the bowl. Is it going to be on the outside or the inside of the bowl? But if it's inside, it's going to take up a lot of space. Now, if we were to think of this practically and of its functionality, naturally putting it on the outside would make more sense. So we have more space on the inside to work with. And so that was what I decided to go with, at least initially. My teacher, honestly, I don't know what to call her, but let's just call her teacher for this session. She started adopting my idea, but instead she decided to do a cat because she had one and she started with the body and legs, so I followed suit. Soon I was done with the body and it's now time to proceed on with making the head of my dog. At this point I had no plan on which dog I was making first. I was just trying to even make a dog. This was the point where I started to question my decision, because look at the face, like what is that even? It doesn't even look like a dog. And sadly, I finally made a decision to scrap this entire idea and make something else. You could see I really struggled with letting that go, but when it's time to let go, you gotta let go. So I quickly went with my very first instinct of using the leaf mold, which I first pushed away because I felt it was very cliche, but then we were really running out of time, so I had no choice but to go with what first came to my mind. So now all I have to do is prep my clay thick enough and smooth enough to my liking for my mold, and then we can proceed to start making our leaf. When I first filmed this video, I did not expect to narrate this much of this video, and I thought it would be more like a comforting, slow, aesthetic video with background music, mostly silent, but this happened, so I hope you guys have been enjoying this thus far and just hearing my thought process through this whole session, and that it provided you some comfort as well. Alright, so we're now making our second leaf. Yes, I was pretty greedy. I thought one wouldn't be enough, so I decided to make myself two to put around the edges of the bowl. Now that I've smoothened my leaf, it's time to draw on its veins. Whoops, terrible mistake. But I didn't have time to redo this, so I'm just gonna attempt to salvage it. And whether it's a success, you are soon to find out. So, what do you think? I guess you can barely tell I made that mistake there, right? But I know, and you know, so we shall keep it shush. I did a very simple version of what a leaf would look like to me if I were to draw a cartoon. If I had more time, what I would do is Google some images and get some inspirations of how an elevated leaf would look like. But time is of essence, and even with this simple design, I wasn't even sure if I could complete it, so we just gotta work with whatever we can. I was then taught this method of attaching the leaf onto my bowl, which I thought was really cool. I don't know the professional words to describe this process, but if I were to use my own words, you simply scratch the surface to create some kind of unevenness, both on my leaf and on my bowl, and then you put on some wet clay to act as a glue to stick both items together. I honestly don't know why, but this was one of my favorite processes. Something about the wet clay just relieves stress for me. Now, to make sure that my leaf stays on strong, it's time to create a border all around so the leaf is more properly attached to the bowl. I started rolling my clay to one thin long strand, long enough to surround the parts of my leaf that were attached to the bowl. Now that that's done, it's time to press it in to connect both pieces together. And so our first leaf is done. Now it's time to move on to our second one. And soon both leaves are attached and my work is done. I did notice some cracks though, which I was assured that that's completely normal. For a final process before we say a temporary goodbye to my bowl, it's time for us to decide what we want to do next. I opted for the painting class because I wanted to design my bowl with multiple colors. Versus if I had gone for glazing, then it would be one color throughout my whole work, which I thought wouldn't make my leaves stand out. It's time to say temporary goodbye for a couple of weeks as we wait for our clay to dry to harden enough for us to be able to paint it.
After we put upstairs for firing, we will apply a transparent glaze over. For all the colours, it's maximum 3 layers, except for the last two markings will be erased.
What is this? Ta-da! Here is our piece. And today is finally time to paint it. So you can see the huge difference. This is the before and this is the after. Which I was hoping the colors could turn out more pastel-y, but apparently it's gonna be kind of dark. So I guess we will have to make do with what we have. Oh, yellow green is really nice. It looks different here though. Got ourselves a green cleanse. I think it's pineapple, apple, cucumber, and something else in there. Okay, let me look up some painting ideas because I literally have no clue. I think I want to make it like a garden thing. I guess we grab our palette here and then let me choose a paintbrush. I think I will need different sizes. If I can kind of mix the purple. I'll do purple. The day has finally come to see our finished product. Alright guys, we are here at level 5 and literally just minutes away from collecting our pottery piece. And I came here and ended up having to lug this huge bag because I went to Scarlet to buy some stuff and I realized the item that I really love is 1 for 1, so I had to. So anyway, okay, we are here. Excuse me. Oh, this part is not glossy, but the rest is. What do I think? Actually, I really love how the strawberries turn out. The red is actually really pretty. And I actually did a mix of, I think, the pink and red to get like a medium red. And then I used the actual red that they gave to do the dots. So, but the leaves of the strawberries are not green. No idea what I did there. And somehow my lavenders are, these ones are okay, but these ones are like, you can barely see it. Thankfully, this came out to be a brown. It's pretty nice, and the bird, it looks like a bird. Yeah. And I actually like the colors of the leaf. Oh, I love it. And this one, I actually painted iris flowers. I also like how it came out. You can see a little bit of the shading that I tried to do with different mix of purple and blues. At this, this one looks horrible. It's supposed to be like a yellow flower, and you can barely tell